The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, I would like to welcome you at our third workshop of the series, How to Get Your E-Learning Course Off the Ground. And today we will be talking about how to create dialogue simulation from scratch. And not only talking, we will actually show you step by step how you can do that. My name is Paulina, I am a community manager at iSpring, and I will be the moderator for today's workshop. And as a presenter, I have invited Sofia Nikolina. Hi, Sophia. How are you doing today? Are you ready?
Hello, Paulina. Thank you for asking. Yes, I'm ready and hiding.
Sophia, that sounds wonderful. This is the second workshop for Sophia, and I hope that this time you guys will enjoy it even more than the first time. We have taken into consideration all your advice and feedback, so we hope that you will really like this workshop. Okay, so in order to follow along, I would like to ask you to download your resource folder. So in order to do that, I hope that you can see the red link on the screen, and also I have copied this link in the chat box. I hope that you guys can see it. If you click that link, you will be taken to the webpage where you are able to download the resource folder. In this folder, you will have all the needed media and Word document in order to follow Sophia during today's workshop. Okay, so I will allow you a couple of moments to download that resource folder. And while you're doing that, I will introduce our Senior Technical Support Engineer, Eugene. Hi, Eugene. How are you doing today?
Hi, Paulina. Thank you for asking. I'm great today. And hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope you will enjoy this workshop.
Eugene will be taking care of your questions that you are more than welcome to submit during the webinar itself and also during our Q&A session that we will hold after Sophia is done with presenting. We will leave about 10 minutes to cover that. And I just want to show you really quickly that you can submit your questions right here. You should see the box on the screen. This is the GoToWebinar panel. It should be located somewhere on the right side of your window. And you should see the question box. This is the place where you should be submitting your questions. And we will be taking care of them during the webinar and also during the Q&A session. Okay, so I hope that at this point we are ready to move on. Guys, could you please let me know in the question box that we've just covered if you are ready to proceed and we should move on and I should maybe pass the rights to Sophia. Okay, so it looks like, okay. Thank you very much, guys, for being so responsive. We really appreciate it. Okay, Sophia, let me please pass the presenter rights over to you.
Thank you, Paulina.
Sophia?
So do you see my screen, Paulina?
Yes, I can see it perfectly.
Perfect. So let me start. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. So first of all, could you please let me know if you can hear and see me okay? If something goes wrong during the presentation, please let us know in the question box on the right side of the GoToWebinar panel. I'm excited to share my knowledge with you and I'm open to any feedback after the webinar. Today, I will be really happy to demonstrate step by step how to create and manage your own dialect simulation like the one on the slide number 22, import recorded voice-overs to it, and customize backgrounds, characters, and other things. I will also show you how you can manage your simulation in the Presentation Explorer and set up branching for it. and I will tell you how to manage the structure and hierarchy in your presentation and teach you many useful features. The first part of my demo I will devote to creating a conversation simulation like the one on the slide number 22 of this course with iSpring TalkMaster. With iSpring TalkMaster, you can easily build your own conversation simulations that effectively train and assess communication skills. Plus, you can implement any kind of case scenario, choose a suitable character and location from the built-in libraries, or upload your own. Enhance dialects with voiceovers and many other interesting features that I will show you later. Here you can see another attractive interaction that you can easily insert in your own presentation. First, I will preview this slide to show you how that works. In the opened window, you can see the first scene of this dialect simulation with the following description. A Sunday evening at Migusta. Most of the tables are taken. Some are still not taken but were reserved a month ago and expecting their guests. And I also will start our dialect simulation. You are the head chef of the restaurant. While the customers are still ordering, you decide to have a cup of coffee in your office and think of your special Christmas menu. I'm going to continue. Suddenly, one of the managers rushes into your office, all hot and bothered, and closes the door to break the news. Let's find out what the news is, and I'm click on Continue button. An important restaurant critic is here. No one expected him to come today. He's already finished the first course and is asking for you. Keep calm. Which table is he at? Table 41, sir. And you're going to meet and greet the guest. The scene is changed, and now we see that we should have a conversation with an important restaurant critic here. Let's go and meet our guest. Now I need to respond to him and greet him politely. So I will show you what will happen if I select the correct answer. The first one. As you can see, I was redirected to the next scene of this dialect simulation. But I suppose some of you want to know what will happen if I answer the question incorrectly. Actually, it depends. You may be redirected to the same scene, the beginning of the entire simulation, etc. Don't worry, I will definitely teach you how to make the same scenarios as you see on my screen in a bit. I will choose the incorrect reply, for example the first, and our guest is unhappy, and we click on continue, and as you can see we have a second chance to select the correct answer. And I will do that by clicking on the second reply. And now let me show you the remaining correct choices and move on to creating a new dialect. The first one and the first reply once again. Well done, the guest is pleased. Now let me show you how the dialect tree looks. So I will close this window and I will open it, the dialect tree, by selecting the 22 slide and go into simulation. You can find this button in the insert section. So I will jump the iSpring Suite H ribbon. I go to the insert section and select the simulation button. I click it, and as you can see in this window, all the scenario scenes are arranged in a tree structure. I hope this makes even the most complex branching conversation scenarios clear and organized. There are several scenes here, for example, the first scene, or in our case, this is 11th scene, that don't have answer options, but they involve some situations. So now let's create a new blank slide. I will close this window. let's create a new blank slide for our dialect simulation. As you can see, I have already prepared a new one for our new dialect. Guys, are you ready to move on? Please let me know in the chat. So you need to create a new blank slide by going to the Insert option and select the new slide. Okay, thank you very
Sophia, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I just want to quickly mention that, guys, when you download the resource folder, it comes as a zip package. You need to unzip it. And if you click on it, you should see two folders. The one should be with audio files, the second should be with the backgrounds, and there also should be a Word document simulation. You can download this resource folder as many times as you need. Just saying. Thank you, Sophia. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I see your answers in the chat. So let's jump to the iSpring Suite 8 ribbon. And here in the Insert section, you will find the Simulation button. Please click it to start creating our dialect simulation. Then I will select the Create Simulation option. So what do we see? This is a blank area where we will create some scenario scenes and manage our dialect tree. Usually we start the dialect by creating a new scene. I should also warn you that I will take some text messages, pictures, and other stuff from this folder on my desktop. I mean, this is the just desktop simulation dialect folder from this folder, I mean. Guys, could you tell me please, did you download all the resource files that Paulina gave you in the chat? If you didn't have time, you can easily do it right now. Let me also clarify that I need these files for further inserting into our simulation. And what files will I use? Let me show you the dialect simulation folder on my desktop and quickly show them. I will use the text from the Word document, which is called simulation script here, and the pictures of backgrounds from the backgrounds folder, this folder. So if you don't have a subscription to the iSpring content library, you can easily get these pics from this folder. Let me also note that if you have a look at the script, I will open the script, simulation script. You will see some icons next to the replies, character speech, and messages. An icon with person is a character speech here. A word bubble is a message, and arrows are replies. Is everyone with me? Could you please let me know in the chat? Thank you very much for your answers. In that case, now let's go back to our simulation. In the Scene section, please click the New Scene button here. Here you can see three main tabs like Content, Images, and Properties. As you remember, we don't need to add any characters, speech, or emotions for the first scene, so all we need to do is insert the background image and prepare text in the message box. And for your convenience, I will call this new scene Introductory Scene. There are two ways to add a background image of a restaurant to our simulation. You can add it from the iSpring content library or from a folder on your computer. Let me also quickly show you how you can insert any background from the iSpring content library. However, I want to focus on inserting background images from the dialect simulation folder, so you don't need to repeat these steps after me. So click on the backgrounds image here, this gray area, and in the opened window you can select the built-in picture here, or add some pics from the iSpring content library. It seems like this picture isn't in the built-in section, so I will insert it in our simulation by clicking on the following option: Add from Content Library. Here we need to find a pic with restaurant background, so I will select the restaurant tag here on the left part of this window, and if you scroll down to the end, you will find the pic we need, which is called Banquet Hall, this pic. And you can easily add it by double-clicking on the pic or clicking on the Insert button. At this point, guys, I hope it's clear how you can add a background to this simulation using the iSpring content library. Now let me close this window and add the background image from the resource folder. Now you can repeat after me. We can also add the same background image of the restaurant from any folder on your computer. To do this, I'll look for the small icon in the top right corner and click it, the Add Background icon. I will click it, and in the opened window you can find and select any image you want. In my case, this background is saved in the simulation folder, simulation dialog folder. Then I will go to the backgrounds folder and find the banquet hall pic that we need. I will open it, and after that I will select it in the custom area like this. Now I will stop for a moment because I want to ask you guys if you have been able to repeat everything after me, or do I need to slow down or maybe speed up the pace of my speech? Please share your opinion in the question box on the right side of the GoToWebinar panel, because it's really important to us now that. And I will definitely adjust the pace based on your wishes. Thank you in advance. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So, I stay at the same pace. Let's go back to our scene. I will close this window. Now we should paste some already prepared text in this message box. I will go to the Content tab and select Add Message. So all this text, messages, replies, and character speech I will take from my prepared script in the simulation folder on my desktop. I will click on Add Message, as I have already done, and open my ready-made script. Then I will select the first scene, the scene number 1, and copy this text by using the Ctrl-C combination on my keyboard. Then I will go back to my dialog simulation and paste it in the corresponding message box. Like that. And I will also delete some extra spaces here. Okay, let's preview our scene by clicking on the Previous Scene button in the bottom left corner. Like that. Now I think our introductory scene is done. Congratulations. Let me also know that if you close this scene, all the changes for it will be saved automatically. Let me continue my demo by creating the second scene with the character. Now I will perform the same steps we did earlier. I will create a new scene. I will go to the Scenes section and click the New Scene button. Then I will add a new background, the background with office, by going to this window and selecting the Add Background button here. I will click it and will select the CEO office, and will open it. I will select it in the custom area and close this window. So what else can we add? If you remember, we had a character in the scene, so to add it to our simulation, I will click on the following gray area, and let's use the Built It one. the built-in character. I will use, for example, this girl. And let me also mention that if you purchased iSpring TalkMaster, you don't have to buy a subscription to the iSpring content library. As you can see, there are many built-in characters and backgrounds for your project needs. So let's go back to the character tab and select this girl and close the window. Let's add the message once again in the corresponding box. I will select Content tab and select Add Message option, open my script, and copy this message. Then I will paste it in the message box and delete some spaces. We can also change the emotion of our character to puzzled. To puzzled. And what are our next steps? We have the introductory scene and the second scene in our dialect simulation, and now we should connect them with each other. So I will drag this scene here. So let's click the link button on the introductory scene next to our message. And if you mouse over this button, you will see the text drag to link. So we should drag this link to our second scene, and when you see the text link to number 2, please release the mouse button. And after that, you will connect these two scenes. Speaking of which, you can easily create a new scene, in our case, the third scene, by grabbing the link from the second scene and putting it in the free area, for example, here. Let me also repeat the steps once again for you. So, I should connect the scenes, and I will press this button, drag the link, and grab it to the second scene. And when you see the link to number 2 text, please release your mouse button and you will connect them. And to create the third scene, I will also press on this button and drag the new scene, for example, here. Is everyone with me so far? Do you guys have any questions at this point?
Sophia, there is one question from Roy, and I would like to ask if you're going to go over that. How about putting my own image instead choosing to the list of characters?
Yes, for sure. I can mention that during the Q&A session, especially.
Okay, thank you. I hope that works for you, Roy.
Thank you for your answers, guys. So now we will move on to editing the third scene. If you go to the Images tab, you will note that our character and the background image with the office are preserved. So how could that happen? It's easy to explain, so let's click on the background image here, and you will see that we have the same as previous scene option marked in this window. This is a very useful option which allows you to save your time rather than inserting a background or character each time. I will close this window and insert the character speech and reply to the third scene. I will copy the text from my script for the character speech and paste it here. And I will also click the Add Replies button, go back to my script, select this one, and I will insert it here. I can also show you how to duplicate the third scene to save your time. So I will create a new scene. So you should right-click on this scene, then select Duplicate option here. Then I will drag this scene here and will connect the previous scene with the new one by clicking on this button, drag to link, and grabbing this link to the fourth scene. And when you see the text link to number 4, just release the mouse button. Besides, for example, if you want to insert your employees' characters or ready-made templates, you can easily do it in iSpring TalkMaster by adding your own custom character. And as I know, I will show you how to do that during the Q&A session. I will also delete these texts and we'll insert the new one. I will copy the table 44 sir text and insert it in the character speech box. And also I will add message here. We'll also select this text for message and paste it in our dialog simulation. Well, I hope I didn't tire you out. May I ask you guys, do you have any questions about some of these steps, or do I need to repeat something again?
Well, we're collecting your feedback, guys. Let me please also launch the poll question because I think we kind of missed it. And we would like to find out if you are familiar with our iSpring TalkMaster. And we would really appreciate if you could quickly take the vote and let us know. So there are 3 options available. Yes, I'm familiar with iSpring TalkMaster and I use it regularly. I've heard of it but never used it. And that happens sometimes, believe me. Or the third option is no, I've never heard about it. So if you could please let us know how you know TalkMaster. That would be wonderful. All right. And I have a question for you. Sophia from Sarah. She says, when I press the second scene, to move the link, it just opens up the scene.
I'm not sure that I properly understand you, Paulina. Could you please repeat it again?
Sure. The question is from Sarah. And she says, when I press the second scene to move the link, it just opens up the scene. So I think you can press on it and keep pressing it to drag.
Yes, I think so. So let me repeat it. You just need to press this button and drag it to create a new scene. And after that, you should release this button. May I also ask, do you see my screen?
No, can you please share it again?
That's all, I suppose. And I see another question. So I need to repeat the third scene and fourth scene. Am I right?
Yes, if you could do that, please.
Yes. So I will delete this scene. And we can duplicate the third scene to save you time. So I will right-click on this scene and select the duplicate option here. Then I will drag this scene here in the free area, and I will also connect the scenes with each other by dragging this link from the previous scene to the new one. And I quickly delete all this text once again, and also paste it in our dialog simulation. So thank you very much for all your questions, guys. We really appreciate it a lot. Now I will close this scene and let's move on to the creation of a more difficult scenario with branching scenes. To make my explanation easier, I will leave the correct scenes blue and make the incorrect ones red. In the fifth scene of our dialog simulation, We need to create 3 replies to the character speech, 3 new scenes with the explanation of each situation, connect them all with each other, etc. First, we need to create the 5th main scene with the new character and the restaurant background. So I can create a new scene by pressing this link button and dragging this scene to a free area. I can also add them, restaurant background and a new character by clicking on the Images tab and selecting the previous picture to change it. For example, I will click on the background image and we'll select the background with our restaurant. Then I will close this window and I should also select the new character. I will use this one, for example, and we'll change its emotion for happy and close. Then we should paste the character speech in this box. I go to the Content tab, go to the scene number 5 in my script, and copy that and insert into our dialog simulation. And I also add 3 replies by clicking the Add Replies button here. The first reply, second, and the last. Let's copy this text for our replies from this simulation script, like this. The first reply, the second one, and the last. Now it looks like we're ready to create 3 more scenes with explanations of the situations. I should mention that only the second response, this response, will be correct, so we will change the other scenes to red. First, let's create our incorrect scenes. I will close this window and I'm going to tap the link button next to the first incorrect reply and drag it here to create the first incorrect scene, the scene number 6. Let me quickly insert a text into the message box for our scene number 6, like that, add message, and copy it into the message box. And I also should change the scene color. And to do that, I go to the Properties tab and select this one. Plus, I can change the emotion of our character, of our restaurant critic T and Happy, to show you that your learners, that this choice was incorrect. Now we come to a very important step of the dialog, so please pay attention. This means that after selecting, let me just quickly preview the 5th scene for you. It means that after selecting the incorrect reply on the character speech here, I will click it, we will be prompted to the scene with the incorrect message. And when we click continue, the branching should return us back to the previous main scene. This scene with 3 replies. So how can we do that? So just press the link button in our new incorrect scene, like that, grab it to the previous main scene, and when you see the text length T number 5, please connect them with each other by releasing the mouse button, like that. After this step, you won't move to the next correct scene until you choose the correct reply. Let me quickly show that again. I will preview. Then I will select the incorrect reply. We will be prompted to the next scene with incorrect message. And when I click to continue, we will have the second chance to pause this scene. So I will close this scene. And let's do absolutely the same with the third reply in the fifth scene.
Sophia, I'm sorry for interrupting, but there is a question from Gabriella. She says, the link icon disappeared in my simulation follow along. Did I select something incorrectly?
It's really strange that your link icon disappeared.
Maybe there is no responses that you could link to a different scene, or
Yes,
how does
I
that
think that way too. That you haven't got add some replies or responses to the scene, so you haven't got any link icons.
Because in the number 4 scene, for example, we don't see that link option, right?
We have a link button here next to message to grab it and connect with the next scene. So this link, I suppose this link should be in any case. You can also, for example, take a screenshot of your dialect simulation and send it to the support@ispringsolutions.com, and we will be happy to assist you on this matter.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for interrupting. Let's keep going. Thank you.
So let's do absolutely the same with the third reply. So I will grab the link. I will press this button to create a new scene, like that, for example here. And I will also change the color of this scene to red and change also the character's emotion to unhappy, because this is incorrect scene. And I will also paste the character speech and message in the corresponding boxes. So I will copy the text in the scene number 7 from my script and insert it in the character speech. I will also add message and copy that phrase and paste it in our dialect. So I will close this window, and I should also grab the link to the previous main scene to loop it. So I will grab this link, drag this, and when you see the link to number 5, please release the mouse button like that. Well done, guys. We have finished our first difficult scene with incorrect scenes, and now creating the same scenes will be much easier for you. Could you please tell me, do you have any questions about making or looping the previous scene? Please write us in the question box and I will be glad to assist you. I see.
I think you can keep going, Sophia.
Thank
Looks
you,
like
Paulina.
everybody can catch up.
Yes, I see. Thank you, Paulina, very much. So I'm going to create the 8th scene for our dialect simulation. So I will grab this link from the second reply here. I grab it and drag the new scene and will release it here. Then I will copy some text from our simulation script, for example, for character speech. And also I should add 2 replies on this scene. The first reply and the second reply. And paste them in the corresponding boxes. I will also make our guest happy because this is correct scene. So I suppose this is that we have finished this scene. Now we are going to create new ones. So I will grab this link from the first reply and drag it here. This will be the correct scene. And I will also paste the character speech and 2 replies here to our dialect simulation. Then I will go to add replies, 2 replies. I return back to our script and copy them. And the last one to the corresponding boxes. I can also make our character as normal. And I will allow a moment for you to catch up. So, what have I done? I have created the 8th scene and the 9th scene. So we have 2 replies here, and I grabbed the link to create a new scene, the scene number 9. And I also created 2 replies here and inserted the character's speech. Now we can drag this link to create our incorrect scene from the second reply here. I will drag it here, for example. I will also change our emotion of our restaurant critic to puzzled. And I will also add the character speech and the message. Then I'm going to click Add Message button, return back to our simulation script, select this one, and insert in the message box. You should also do looping in the scene and also make this scene red because this scene is incorrect. To make looping for this scene, I'm going to press Drag to Link button and drag it here to the scene number 8, like that. So we're almost done with our dialect simulation. So let's create the 2 final scenes for it. 11 scene and 12 scene. So I will grab this link and drag our new scene to, for example, this area. This scene will be blue and our cast will be happy. I should also insert character speech and the message to the message box. I will add message and paste this text. And I will also create the second one. I will make our cast normal and copy this text, insert here, and also will select the message text and paste it in the message box. So we have done our dialect tree. Let me show you like that. This is our dialect tree. And in our case, we use it to practice our skills. However, you can also use it as a knowledge check for your users, and for this, you need to grant points per scene. So let me show you how you can do that. For branching scenarios, a cumulative score is a better choice. With a cumulative score, your learners collect points on each scene or get penalty points for incorrect replies. As a result, the final score shows the difference in students' performance. So I will select the scene number 5, and assign points for each reply. Now let's go to the Properties tab. In the Simulation section, I'll click this button and I will mark the option enable simulation evaluation like that, and we'll click on OK to confirm my customization. Then I will open the fifth scene and I will assign points to responses. Let's grant 10 points for every correct reply. In our case, this is just one correct reply, the second, and 5 negative points for incorrect replies for the first and for the third. Then I will go to the next scene and I will also enter 10 points for the correct reply and 5 negative points for the second reply. Go to the next scene and I will assign 10 points for the correct reply and also 5 points for the second reply because this reply is only partially correct. And I will also quickly preview the entire dialogue from the fifth scene. Let me preview this by clicking this button in the left bottom corner. So, for example, I will select the incorrect reply, and in the top left corner, you will see our points collected, and you have also earned about 5 negative points for this reply. After that, I will choose some replies, for example, like that, and I will see the partial correct answer. So your score is 20 points. I will close this window, and after that, let's get back to the Properties tab in the Simulation section. And here you can see the maximum score for our simulation, the points of 30 in our case. And for example, I will set 20 points as a passing score for our dialect, about 66%. So are you doing okay, guys? Do you have any questions for me right now? Anyway, please don't worry. Our senior tech engineer Eugene will take care of all your questions right now.
Looks like you can keep going, Sophia.
Yes, I see. Thank you, Polina. So, congratulations, we made almost the entire dialect simulation from scratch. So, and the last thing I want to show you regarding the dialect simulation is how to export the script, record and import voiceovers, and also export the entire dialect simulation. To make our dialect simulation more engaging, we can add a voice to it. First, we need to click on the Voice Over button in the Simulation section. I will click it. And here you can see your script with all messages, replies, and character speech on the left panel of the opened window. And as you can see on this panel, we have several ways to record and import voiceovers. First, let me cover the option of exporting the ready-made script. If you want to add voice to your dialect, you can always send the exported script to professional artists or make the voiceovers by yourself. So to export your ready-made script, you should click on the Export button here in the Export section and select the Export Script option. And after that, you can select any folder you want. This script is very intuitive and easy to understand. Let me continue by showing you how you can record your voice for these scenes. There are two ways to do this. You can press this red button next to the reply to start recording your narration, or select this scene, for example, the first scene, and select the option Record on this toolbar. I will click this red button to start recording. In the small opened window, I want to show you a very useful and convenient option, which is called Narration Script. I will click it, and here you can easily see the text from this scene and read it during your recording. The Narration Script option will help you save time and allow you to read your script without printing anything or constantly switching to any text editors. So let me start recording. A Sunday evening at Migusta, most of the tables are taken. Some are still not taken but were reserved a month ago and expecting their guests. So to stop our audio narration, I clicked on the stop button, and now you can easily play it once again, or you can either delete it or add it in the audio editor. Let me click this. And if you remember, I have already shown you the main options in our first workshop, so I will not cover them in this workshop. And I will click on OK to insert it to our dialect simulation, like that. You can easily play it once again or delete from this scene. Okay, well done. If you're in the simulation folder with all resources, let me open it. Simulation dialog. You can find another folder called audio files. Let's open that. And in this folder, you can find several audio narrations with strange names. And now I will explain to you why I named them that way. And now we will import all these audio narrations into our simulations automatically. And how can we do that? You can import files individually by clicking the import icon. Let me quickly show you. For example, import from file, and you will select the file that you want to insert into our dialect simulation. However, I want to focus on how to import all these audio files from the folder automatically to our scenes. Let's open our script file again, and now you will see the script text and the file names needed for bulk import here, these file names. Make sure that you match the particular recording with the corresponding file name, or you should inform your voice actors about that. Now I will go back to my folder with my voiceovers, and you can see that their names coincide with the file names in our script. Let me show you like that. So now I will do the bulk import for our dialect simulation. So I click import, choose the bulk import option. Okay. I will select all these files in the voiceover folder by pressing the Shift button, and we'll click Open. Okay, and here they are, our recorded audio narrations. So you can import WAV, MP3, and WMA files. And now, when our dialect is completely finished, I want to show you how you can export it as a scenario output file for further editing and inserting in your course or presentation. So you can easily do that by pressing this blue button, choosing the export option, and clicking on the simulation. And please select any folder you want. Then we can save all this customization and return back to our presentation. Close this one. And now we have already made new dialect simulation. Let's also preview the entire dialect to show you how it works. The preview selected slides. So, perfect. So we have our voiceovers, and if we start this our dialect simulation, you can also see the points on these scenes. Let me continue this dialect simulation. We should also we can also stop this audio playback and choose answers, or you can also play it again. So I will select this one, for example, continue my dialect, select the correct answer, and this one, for example. So your score is 20 points. You were polite enough when saying no and didn't disclose this information. Guys, do you have any questions, or maybe do I need to repeat anything? Please write us in the chat on the GoToWebinar panel and I will be happy to assist you.
Let's keep going, Sophia.
Thank you, Paulina. Okay, I will close this window. And now, after those tricks in the dialect simulation, let's move on to the second and the final part of my demo, which will cover the work in the Presentation Explorer. Let me open it. The Presentation Explorer shows an overview of your entire presentation, allows you to organize the presentation structure, make a hierarchy of slides, and set up slide advanced options. You can easily find it by going to iSpring Suite 8 ribbon, selecting the Presentation Explorer button in the Presentation section, and you should just click it. By the way, you don't need to repeat these steps after me. Let me start with the branching settings. As you know, these options are commonly used in programs such as iSpring QuizMaker, then iSpring Suite 8.7, and also in iSpring TalkMaster. We see the branching tree today, the branching options of our dialect tree. So with the branching options, you can create various effective scenarios out of the same presentation. It also allows you to set up branching to different slides in the presentation when users navigate backwards and forward. To set up branching for our simulation and to access the branching options, I will select our new slide, the 23rd slide, and click the branching button on the toolbar. Like that. You can adjust each slide's navigation buttons, next or previous. I will go to the slide branching, next or previous, to take the learner to the next slide or to the previous one or any other slide. For example, I will select the None option for backward branching. So by selecting None, you can block the navigation. In this case, users won't be able to move forward or backward from the slide. I will select this one. And for example, if you want to skip the simulation, you should select, for example, the 25th or 24th slide. Then I will also go to the simulation branching, and we can also customize this option. For example, if your user fails the dialect simulation, he can be redirected to the first slide of your presentation, for example, or to any particular slide. I will select the first one, and if he passes your dialect simulation, then he can be redirected to the last slide of your presentation or to another slide. So I will click on OK. The configured branching preferences will be displayed in this branching column. Then I will also want to show you a really great option of locking the navigation, which we will use for our dialect. For example, I don't want my learners to skip this dialogue and continue watching my presentation, so they must pass it no matter what. So how do I do that? I select the 23rd slide in this presentation. We'll click on the simulation and select the properties. Here you can see three main options: at any time, after attempting simulation, and after passing simulation. Let's see the first option, at any time. So if you select this one, you should also mark allow user to interrupt the simulation checkbox. This option allows you to skip your quiz and redirect your user to another or to the next slide of your presentation. You can also select the second one and dismark this checkbox, and your learner can be redirected to the next slide only after attempting simulation. So let me quickly show you. I will save all this customization and select two slides to preview them. Preview selected slides. And after that, I will click on the next button, and you will see the error message that navigation is limited and you must complete the simulation before leaving this slide. The same error message appears during the clicking on the preview button. Okay, I will go back to the Presentation Explorer and selecting the Properties option. We have also the last option, after passing simulation, and it means that your user will be redirected to the next slide only after passing the whole simulation, the entire simulation, just only in this case. So I will leave the after attempting simulation option here and will click on OK. There is another option to block the navigation in the Presentation Explorer. You can restrict user navigation by disabling the player navigation controls. If you lock them, navigation will be disabled in the following areas. So I will select this slide, for example, and in the player, when your mouse pointer is over the outline or navigation buttons, you will see the lock icon on them. Just I will click that. So users won't be able to move to the locked slide. Even if the navigation is locked, users can navigate to another slide on click or automatically. So you should also disable automatic or on-click navigation if you want to completely restrict user navigation. Now let's move on to the next part of my demo. Here I will tell you how to organize your presentation into a hierarchy. This option allows you to make your structure more clear and convenient. It also helps you not to get confused by all the slides or miss some slides in the structure, and you will also definitely see the main slides of your presentation. So how do you make a hierarchy in your presentation? You can adjust the nesting level of slides to organize multi-level navigation in your presentation with the Promote and Demote buttons. These green arrows to the right of the slide thumbnails. So let me select the, for example, second slide of my presentation with the chapter. This will be the first level of my presentation. So I will click on the third. And for example, when all the slides of your presentation are assigned to the top level, as we can see, you can add only one nested level, the second. So I will click on the third slide and click on the Demote option to make this slide as a second level. Once you move any slide to level 2, you will be able to move the following slides to level 2 or 3, and so on. The nesting depth of your presentation may reach 5 levels. To quickly conclude that, let me note that this option is super convenient for the content creator. for you. You can also mark any slide as hidden by clicking the Hide Slide button on the toolbar, for example. I will select the first one and will select the option Hide Slide. You can also hide it by double-clicking its thumbnail, like that. Hidden slides are not displayed in the outline of the player. They are skipped during presentation playback. Please note that any hidden slides still exist as part of your presentation and can be accessed using hyperlinks or action buttons on the other slides. We can also change the slide duration of each slide of this presentation and select automatical and on-click options. So let me select, for example, this 10th slide, and we can change this slide duration, for example, to 10 seconds by changing some figures in this field. And you can also make your slide play automatically or on click. It is also possible to specify the duration for a selected group of slides in the corresponding text field on the toolbar. So let me select these slides and change the slide duration to 15 seconds, for example. And as you can see, the changes were applied for this group of slides. In conclusion, I would like to highlight again that you have complete control of your presentation right here in the Presentation Explorer. Paulina?
Yes, I'm just taking care of some incoming questions. Thank you very much, Sophia, for this wonderful presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I think that you did wonderful. And your piece was really nice for the second time, the second workshop.
Thank you, Paulina.
All right, so could you please repeat one more time what is the purpose of nesting in the presentation? Sorry.
Just a second. This option, these nesting levels, allow you to make your structure more clear and convenient. For example, you can see here. And it also helps you not to get confused by all the slides. For example, if you have hundreds of slides, you can easily miss some slides in the structure or confused by all the slides. And with this option, you will also definitely see the main slides of your presentation and the slides on the second level, third, etc.
I really like the explanation that Carla gave to this option. She said, so this is a behind the scenes organizing tool, but it doesn't do anything to the presentation itself, which is perfectly correct.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Sophia, so maybe now you can show how it's possible to add your custom characters if you if you would like, for example, include your employees' pictures in the TalkMaster and have them as the main figures of your dialogues.
For sure, Paulina. So I will open my dialog once again, and we have already seen how to insert a character into the simulation, but let me also show you how to insert the custom character. For example, if you want to insert your employees, as I have already mentioned, or some ready-made templates, so you can easily do it by following the next steps. Then I will explain to you. So now I will select, for example, this scene, and I will click the character picture to open the character library, and then in the top right corner here, I will click the Add Character button. Let me quickly remind you that we have already seen how to save and download any character from the iSpring content library. By right-clicking on the character and selecting the Save Picture as option. I will choose my folder and custom characters. And I have already prepared 5 different emotional states for our character in my folder. Now I will choose, for example, a happy character and add it to the simulation. I will open it. And as you can see, our custom character has appeared in the custom section of the gallery. I should also mention that by default, this select image will be used to represent all emotional states for happy, normal, puzzled, unhappy, and also angry. So to edit our character and add more emotional states, I will right-click the character's thumbnail, will right-click, and choose Edit from the context menu. Okay, in the Edit Character window, you can switch to different tabs and select the appropriate images for each emotion. I will need normal emotions, for example, on this scene, and I will go to the Normal tab. This is a happy character, and I will go to the Normal tab and click Change here. Change button to add an image for this emotion, as a normal picture. To confirm all changes, you should click on Save button. Let me quickly add other emotions for our character. I will go to Puzzled, click on the Change button, select this one, and do the same steps with other. I'm happy and angry. Change angry. And to confirm all the customization, I will click on the Save button. And here is our character. I can switch these emotions to show you that they're different. And I will also preview this scene with this character, custom character. I will select the angry one, for example, the normal, and we'll preview. And here is our character. And by the way, you can't change the size of the character directly in this scene, but you can always change its size before inserting into the dialog. So I suppose that's all.
Thank you very much, Sophia. And we've also received lots of questions about adding more than one character in the dialogue simulation. So in this case, I would like to mention that right now we are thinking about adding this feature in our future version updates. And guys, if you could possibly share how you are seeing of using 2 characters in one dialogue, could you please send your thoughts to support@iSpringSolutions.com. Let me actually quickly share this in the chat. support@iSpringSolutions.com. And this way we will be able to form a good feature request. Yeah, and we'll be glad to take a look at it with our product development team. Okay, so at this point, I know that we're way over our design time for this webinar workshop, but I hope you guys enjoyed it a lot. And let's take a look at a couple of more questions, and after that we will finish our workshop. And at this point I would like to mention that I will be sending the link to the resource folder and also the recording of this workshop as soon as it's ready. So you guys shouldn't worry about possibility to repeat what Sophia has presented today. Okay, so just allow me a moment. So it looks like Eugene took care of most of the questions. Thank you very much, Eugene, by the way, for doing that.
You're always welcome.
All right, so
Polina, I see the question. Can you bulk? Yes. Can you bulk import the message and replies? Yes, for sure. Let me show you this quickly. Just going to close these scenes and I will open VoiceOver. You can for sure create some recordings or import bulk or doing bulk import by name the corresponding files as these file names. I suppose that's all. So you should do the same steps with the replies or messages.
Thank you very much. And yeah, there was another question about voiceovers from Robert. Do you see it in the question box?
When I create
I guess it's.
Do I use the same naming convention? When I create my own voiceover, etc., do I use the same naming convention? Yes, I suppose you have to name your voiceovers as these file names. So for example, you have recorded the audio narration for this scene, starting from suddenly one of the managers, etc. So you should name this file as S02M and then import in this scene.
Okay, thank you very much. And there is also one question from David. He's asking if we have a scripting template to help us organize.
Yes, we have
a scripting template such as the one you've used for the dialogue.
Yes, we have a ready-made script, and this script has already in this folder that you probably download. I mean, this simulation script where I can where I copy some messages, replies. So if you want, David, we can easily share with you once again.
Sure. The link that you could use in order to download this file is shared in the chat message. And also, let me send it to you just one more time. All right. Okay, so I think this is it for today. I would like to thank you, Sophia, and you, Eugene, for taking care of our attendees today. Thank you very much for presenting and for answering the questions. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for all your support, and I really hope you enjoyed this workshop today.
Thank you for the lots of questions.
Right. They kept Eugene very busy during the presentation. And yeah, thank you very much, guys, for finding the time to join it. And I'm sure that this is a great start for more workshops in the future. However, I think that next time we will be focusing on one big feature per workshop. So I think this should do the trick. Okay, so our next webinar will be held next Tuesday, same time, on January 30th, and Eugene will be publishing the Ready course. We've taken care of adding animations, triggers, transitions to it. We've also added a quiz. Now we have a dialogue simulation in it, and we're ready to publish and upload it to our iSpring Learn LMS. So next webinar, Eugene will be taking care of that topic. Is that right, Eugene?
Yes, for sure.
All right, sounds great. So I hope all of you guys have a wonderful day, and we would very much appreciate seeing you at our next webinar. And in order to do that, let me please quickly share the link to this webinar in the chat box just in case you can sign up for it today. All right, so you can see it in the chat right now. And at this point, we are ready to wrap up. Thanks again, everyone, and see you next Tuesday. Goodbye.